Wajahat
My
Ali
take,
is a New
based
York
on the
Times
evidence of
writer.
my eyes and ears, is that we're witnessing one of the biggest political cover-ups in modern history. And if I may, let me just give you an example of why I say that. First and foremost, we know that Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi openly told the American public, we're going to come in and we're going to release the Epstein files. It's going to show this cabal of corrupt pedophiles and sex traffickers. And then they got in power. They saw the files. What did they do? They closed the Epstein co-conspirator investigation.
Watch Wajahat Ali, a progressive American writer, tear Kash Patel and Dan Bongino for how they handle the case. Dan, co-deputy director of the FBI, resigned in less than a year just to continue his podcasting career. And listen to how confident Kash is on Benny Johnson's show and how he is now.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list, they're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but if release the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
I don't want to step on my colleague's time here, but just really quickly, we don't know how he got the money. And this is one thing that I'm kind of astonished still. You know, you can just do a quick Google search or Grok or whatever. Epstein was worth over $600 million. And people want to say that it was tax advice. I've got a tax advisor, guys. He's not worth $600 million. I mean, this is crazy. There's no way.
No, I agree. I think the money trail on Epstein is a bit like the trail on Thomas Crooks until now, is that it's been wrapped in complete mystery. Chris Rufo, I mean, you know, like I said, I'm going to make a point again. It's very unusual to get such unanimous kind of shared opinion about this, which I think, as Anna said, it goes to the heart of this, which is it's become a kind of, you know, bipartisan thing where people on the left and right are united in wanting this stuff out there. So I don't think any attempt to hold stuff back going forward is going to work. I think it's going to cause a lot more problems. What is your best theory about why Trump hasn't moved faster to reveal all this, given that he was indicating he wanted to? You know, but for what it's worth, I interviewed David Boies, who was one of the top criminal lawyers in American history. He was Virginia Giuffre's attorney. He represented a number of other of the victims with his firm. And a few weeks ago, he came on and said he's seen the files and there is nothing that incriminates Donald Trump criminally. But that there was stuff in there which, in his opinion, would lead to prosecutions of between 6 and 12 high-profile men. Now, could it be, I just simply posit this as a theory, that it's not Trump who's worried about Trump, but Trump may be worried about some of the other people who maybe he knows, friends, who knows, right? I don't know. Are there other people who may be fearing criminal prosecution who are putting heat on him not to reveal this?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly possible. It's also plausible, given the network of associates around Jeffrey Epstein. We know that these were some of the most powerful and influential people all over the world. Certainly people that have the capacity to do lobbying, to do high pressure, to dangle donations where need be. And so your theory, of course, we'll have to get the facts, but it's certainly one possibility that should be explored. But there's a broader question here, because it's not just Epstein or Crooks or Charlie Kirk or JFK or MLK. It's all of these. And so the question we need to be asking and really digging into is, what is the common denominator for the reason that all of these bits and pieces of information are not making it through to the public?
Leslie Wexner, the founder of Victoria's Secret, paid $200 million to Epstein to manage vast personal and corporate assets. Also, Leon Black, Apollo Global Management, paid $158 million to Epstein. Epstein reportedly saved an estimated $300 million in taxes over 2 decades. I do not believe it. Epstein did not even get a college degree. How on earth can he manage the top billionaire assets? The only simple reason that might be is, in these circles, the connections he made is what got him to be the guy. Let me know if that makes sense to you.
Is it the political decision at the top? Is it a middle management decision, people in cabinet positions or oversight positions? Or is it part of the permanent bureaucracy that for whatever reason is loath to release information to the public? Or is it simple incompetence? You know, for example, with the JFK files, it's maybe not as easy as it seems. There's not just a bucket of files in the corner somewhere labeled hidden, secret JFK files. And so we really need to get to the bottom of this. But I think ultimately the responsibility is on the president, who selects his cabinet deputies, who is the chief executive. He should become more engaged on this. Obviously, he has many things around the world he's thinking about on a daily basis. But these are really important stories. These are really important problems that we really need to get to the bottom of in American life. And so I just find it so frustrating. And if you're a chief executive of a corporation, you're not getting the information that you need from your subordinates. You put the squeeze on those subordinates. You say you have 30 days, get everything gone. I think Trump needs to channel a little bit more of that apprentice spirit and start holding some of his subordinates.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go.
It's to task.
Well, speaking as somebody that competed on Celebrity Apprentice but never got fired because I won, Wajahat, I mean, that is what a chief executive does, right? You either get the information if you say you want it, and if you feel your team are hiding it, you fire the team and get people that will give it to you. So none of this really makes any sense. What do you think is going on here? What's your gut feeling about why there's been such a concerted attempt to deprive the public from seeing the full story on Epstein?
My take, based on the evidence of my eyes and ears, is that we're witnessing one of the biggest political cover-ups in modern history. And if I may, let me just give you an example of why I say that. First and foremost, we know that Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi openly told the American public, we're going to come in and we're going to release the Epstein files. It's going to show this cabal of corrupt pedophiles and sex traffickers. And then they got in power. They saw the files. What did they do? They closed the Epstein co-conspirator investigation. Done. Wall Street Journal, that flaming leftist socialist rag, the Wall Street Journal, reported that Pam Bondi told Donald Trump back in April that his name in some capacity was in these files. Donald Trump, when he was asked by an ABC News reporter, he lied about it. Then we know that at least 1,000 plus FBI agents were tasked by the DOJ to find Donald Trump's name and scrub it. They were all sharing the same Excel sheet, which means those FBI agents actually have that information, and we might actually have some whistleblowers from those FBI agents who were tasked from scrubbing the names.
While Trump's name was redacted in some parts, it appeared hundreds of times in other parts of the released files, including in flight logs and allegations from accusers which he has consistently denied. Let me know, what do you think? How can Jeffrey Epstein has this much influence worldwide? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.